Brett Levis, he has worked his way into this lineup. What a story he has been.
When I was younger, I had to overcome a lot of challenges. My mom passed away when I was 15 years old, and she passed away with breast cancer. That was kind of I would say, a defining moment, not only in my life, but in my soccer career, and really deciding. It was days after that, I remember sitting in my room and deciding what I wanted to do with my life and what would make me happy, what would make her happy, what should I do, and it was my goal to make it as far as I possibly could.
2016 is a year Brett Levis will never forget. He played all 4 games in the CONCACAF Champions League, helped WFC2 reach the Western Conference Final, signed his first MLS contract, and in Vancouver's final game of the season, he made his MLS debut. But that, unfortunately, is where things took a sudden turn.
It was pretty innocuous, I had so much adrenaline pumping, I wasn't in pain or anything like that. It was just a very awkward tackle, and it was the timing, all my weight was shifted and planted on that right, and it wasn't until after the game when we were sort of celebrating the Cascadia Cup, and I was walking around the field thanking the fans and doing what we do after every game, and my knee just kept locking out on me, and I knew something was wrong, so right as the team was sort of celebrating the cup, I went straight into the change room and saw the 2 docs. It was within the span of a couple minutes where they both were pretty certain that it was my cruciate ligament. I thought it was a dream. I know that's pretty cliche to say, but it was all in the span of 10 minutes where I was on such a high to hearing that, and I just broke down. I didn't want to believe it. I couldn't believe it. I didn't really know sort of what had happened.
So we're inside the knee joint, the purplish area here, the quadriceps muscle. Now we're looking down below, we're seeing the groove where the kneecap sits. That looks normal.
What was funny about that morning, and I probably mentioned it already, was I remember that the whole, 2-3 weeks prior, all I remember was rain. It was cloudy, it was cold, it was rainy every single day. And whether it's a coincidence or not, but it was that day when we were driving, where were we driving? I think Quitlam maybe, it was Eagle Ridge, and when we were driving, it was pretty sunny out. There was a couple of rainbows, and I just remember finding it almost humorous that this was the day, but also it was interesting. In order for me to get back, as soon as I can, but also, with it being strong and me feeling ready, I need to be mentally on game. Going into surgery, I was just ready to get it over with.
And in here, there's the torn ACL, and you can see a lot of damaged fibers there. The meniscus, which is just coming into view there, does not look normal at that back. Yeah, it does look like there's a root tear that is worth trying to fix. It's going to make life more interesting.
They went in and they essentially took a piece of his hamstring tendon and made this fake ligament into the knee, so that replaced that tendon, and they shaved off some of the meniscus as well to help that knee stabilize again. So
this is our ACL, feels nice and solid there. Here's the posterior cruciate ligament here, and it looks good.
Levis spent the first part of the off-season rehabbing with the Caps medical staff before heading home to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Levis was back home over the holidays and discussed his eventful year with our own Ryan Flaherty.
It's a large term to use, but it's safe to say we have one of the Saskatchewan's soccer pioneers here back home for the holidays. Brett Levis, thanks for doing this.
A place where he spent the first 20 years of his life playing soccer. An unusual, and for many kids in the province, inspiring path to the professional game.
It's not a place known for soccer players. It's known for hockey. It's known for football and CFL and whatnot.
While signing countless jerseys and soccer balls, Levi has some advice to offer up.
This was the first offseason where I went home and I was now on a first-team contract. I was an MLS player. My friends had seen me, make my debut. They watched me in the Champions League and stuff. So I would say there was a little more hype, and the soccer community really got together, and I did a few different appearances and autograph sessions and a couple media outlets and whatnot. But it was very, it was definitely, I would say, a lot more positive. Outside of the injury, you're right, it was a good way, and they almost reminded me of how positive the year was, and that I did achieve my goal.
His goal now? Get back on the field as soon as possible. But he wasn't ready just yet. Levi's returned to Vancouver in January and continued his off-field physio, including a stint at Fortius with the Caps away for preseason. Then in early March, Levi's took a massive next step in his road to recovery.
I never thought I'd be so excited to just run, but again, it's been about 4 months, I think, so anything at this point to feel like I'm getting some cardio or some fitness will help.
With the buoyant forces, it takes the load off the joints, so that way he's able to do activities that he's not ready to do on land yet.
There's a few different terms that I use and that the physios use with me, and one of them was to get better every day, and that was one thing that was written up on the board. It was something that I saw every single day, and it was something that I believed in, something that I knew I had to do in order to get back, fitter, stronger, better, and to make this, be a one-time thing.
Step on it, roll it to the outside.
So there's that, and there was also to maximize each phase.
Ready, your foundation, go. The first one.
And they sort of gave me the long game plan at the time and breaking down your rehab into phases. So that was another one that helped me stay motivated.
To my right leg, roll over. Brett's a great young professional. He has some very good attributes. One is his communication, being able to tell you exactly what's going on in his body. So sink into it, come from here, up. He's been a delight just because that motivation is there. He's pushing, he wants to push even in the exercises we give him. We give him a set of reps and he does 5 extra. So those are the type of attributes you need to come back full and to come back even better.
Based off his feedback and our feedback, this is the fastest and this is the most fit we've ever seen him.
I can't not think that everything that I had gone through and how hard I worked to get here, that helped me, that helped me get through this 8-9 months of times where it was really tough, especially when I was alone, where my girlfriend was back home finishing school and my family is back home, or they're further east, and the team is traveling and the second team is traveling, and I have a lot of time to think and just thinking about my past and my mom and everything that I've been through. It's definitely, it helped me get through some tough times, and I'm just, so grateful.
Yeah, so this is a painting I obviously painted for Brett. I never actually got to meet his mom, but I knew how much she meant to him and his family, so I thought it'd be a nice thing to give to him and to his family. So Brett knew about it the whole time I was painting it, but his dad didn't, and so we ended up surprising his dad. And I remember when we presented it to him, he definitely teared up a bit, so it was a really nice moment for everyone.
That was cool. And I always kept her in mind, and that was one of the very first things that ran through my head, is that, I know that she's watching over me, and I know that she, saw what happened and whatnot, and that she of all people would, tell me to keep my head up and keep going. Like, you made it this far. Why let one thing like that? Why let something that's part of the sport, and injuries are part of the sport, why let that, ruin everything that you've just done the past 15, 20 years of your life?
He's hungry. He's someone who you can see the way his upbringing was and the way his struggles, his story, it translates into the way he rehabbed, because he put in every blood, sweat, drop and tear into this process, and couldn't have asked for someone better to work with. He just absolutely killed it.
Now Levi's is back to action with WFC2 and looking forward to the next step of this journey, a return to Major League Soccer.
I think he's a huge talent, I really do, and he's deserved his opportunity to get on my MLS roster, and now I want to give him that opportunity to play some more minutes this year, because I thought in the 10 minutes, and it was only a brief 10 minutes that he played last year.
The pride of Saskatchewan.
He showed what he's about, but the year leading up to that 10 minutes, he was phenomenal.
Levi still has his jersey from that debut game against Portland, but he only recently put it up on display, a sign that he's over the injury and ready for what's to come.
It was something I looked at every once in a while, sort of saw it there, didn't really care about it. I don't know, I didn't really know what I thought about it. But it was shortly after I stepped on the field again, which would have been probably a couple months ago now, where I was sitting in my room and I just decided to hang it up on my wall. And the reason for that was because I I achieved what I had been working towards in my entire life, and that was, you know, as much as that's maybe a symbol of something that bad happened to me, it's also a symbol of something that I've been working towards for 20 years of my life. It was something that I'm extremely proud of, and a moment that nobody can take away from me no matter what.